Good morning. Welcome to the K-Files. With us today, we've got a guest co-host, Commissioner Freddie Howell. Good morning, Freddie. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all?
Fine, sir.
And we've got Captain Sherrod with the Nash County Sheriff's Office. How you doing,
I'm
Skeet?
fine, sir. How about yourself?
Good. For those of you tuning in, thank you for tuning in. And so, where things at with the Sheriff's Office? What's happening?
Man, it's been a busy week for us. We've last Friday, of course, it was on the WRL and all the local news stations. But Patricia Ricks, who is the grandmother we charged with first-degree murder, took a plea Friday to life in prison without parole to avoid the death penalty of killing her 8-year-old granddaughter, Crystal Lane. I'm very, very proud of the DA's office for getting to this arrangement. It was probably one of the toughest cases we've had at the Sheriff's Office in a while, and to avoid a trial for our detectives and people involved, not to have to relive that event, means a lot. And so that now we can just move forward and try to put it past us and know that she won't be getting out until she passes.
That's a good thing. I noticed there's a lot of activity the past few days on the Nash County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. I saw where y'all have been down east doing a little bit.
We did Tuesday in Pamlico County. They had a guy jump and run from Highway Patrol in a vehicle chase. They originally thought it was the escaped inmate out of Craven County. So the Sheriff Davis in Pamlico County and Sheriff Hughes in Craven County are real good friends with Sheriff Stone. They called and asked could we help, and we sent probably 8 to start with, and then our SR team showed up later on that night to do some building clearance and stuff like that. Didn't find him that night, but they were able to find him Wednesday morning walking down the street. Wasn't the guy we were looking from the inmate escape, but it was the guy that actually ran from the Highway Patrol. So at least we got one guy in custody, and still looking for the guy that broke out of Craven County Jail.
Was there something going on in Lenoir County?
Lenoir responded up there as well.
Okay.
I don't know if anything's going on in Lenoir, but man, there was law enforcement there from the SBI, Highway Patrol, Nash County, Pamlico County, Craven County, Carteret County, Lenoir County. New Bern Police Department it was a massive effort trying to find what we thought we were looking was the escaped inmate, because the escaped inmate actually lives in that same community, so that's what made everybody believe it was him.
You know, I love one of the things the sheriff talks about is relationships. And the importance of relationships, especially in situations like this, because, you know, when that sheriff down east picked the phone up, he knew that when he called Sheriff Stone was on the way.
He was.
And that's why relationships are so important, whether it be county commissioner, whether it be a sheriff, whether it be law enforcement, whatever. Relationships
matter.
You know, they matter.
I agree. And you know, the great thing, and I hate making the sheriff sound better because he's my boss, but he all 100 sheriffs in this county and the local police departments know that if they pick up their phone and call Keith Stone and say, hey, I need some help, they're not going to hear, well, let me see what I can do. They're not going to hear, well, let me clear it with so-and-so before I do this. He's going to say, how many do you want, and tell me where to go. And 99% of the time, he's going to be the first car leading us on the way where we're going. Just like in Pamlico County Tuesday. He sent it out. He said, these are who's going. He called me. He said, Skeety, you coming? I was like, I'm right behind you. And then later on, we activated our SRT team, and here come 8 or 9 more. And and they know that all they have to do is say, can we get some help? And Nash County's coming.
Yeah, he is a make it happen kind of guy. I called him one time a year or two ago. My middle son was thinking about going into law enforcement, and he had some questions. And naturally, I'm going to be kind of biased. And he's like, Dad, I think I want to do this. I want to go to Wilson BLET. Mm-hmm. So I called the sheriff, and I was talking to him. He had me on speakerphone. And naturally, I didn't know who was around him. And I heard him tell somebody in the room, if JP's son wants to go to BLET, make it happen. He is a make it happen kind of guy. No matter what it is. If he can help you, He's going to help you.
Most definitely.
It doesn't matter if you're just a little peon like me in Southern Nash County, or if you're a sitting sheriff down east. If that phone rings and he can help you, he's going to help you. And y'all have a good relationship too, don't you?
We do, and I was going to add to that, it's nice to see this type of collaboration, because just like we went and responded and helped them out.
Oh, yeah.
If we need help, he can pick the phone up and call, and they're going to be right here as well. And that's what it takes, because you can't staff enough people to handle events
I
like
agree.
this every day.
Yeah.
So you have to rely on your neighbors to be able to help you out in these situations disqualified. So it's great to see that type of collaboration and working together with the law enforcement for the betterment of the people.
Just like the disaster
Oh,
in
yeah.
the western part of the state, one of the first people on the scene after the fact, I remember seeing the sheriff saying, "Hey, we've got personnel
On the way.
en route." That's right.
We first went to Watauga County, and that was immediately after the hurricane came through, and sent a staff there. I think there was 12 of us, and then we ended up sending 2 more staffs a week later to Buncombe County, I believe it was. They went to Buncombe County for 2 weeks. So I mean, he don't mind going to helping anybody, and people don't mind helping us. I mean, about 2 years ago, we had a inmate that was taking trash away, and saw daylight, and he thought he could take off. I called Chief Deputy Carlos Williams over in Edgecombe County and said, "Hey, we just had one run," and before I could hang up the phone, 5 Edgecombe County deputies were checking en route to Nash County. I mean, and that's what it's all about.
We're so lucky, and I tell folks this all the time that don't know the sheriff. They know his name. They know he is the sheriff. We are so lucky to have Keith Stone as our sheriff. I brag on him all the time. I said, look, we're lucky to have him. And to me, I think he's one of the best sheriffs we've ever had in my lifetime.
I agree. And I'll take that a step further, and Clee Atkinson is the same way in Edgecombe County. What a lot of people don't realize is that Sheriff Atkinson and Sheriff Stone were partners on the highway patrol.
That's right.
They work together. So all they do now is still act like they're working together. If we need something in Edgecombe, it's a phone call away. If Edgecombe needs something, it's a phone call away. Those guys talk every day, and they
it
know.
should be.
Oh yeah,
It
and
is.
they know that
Yeah.
all they got to do is say, "Hey, I need some help," and the other one's gonna say, "How many you want? Tell me where to go." It's none of this. Well, let me see what I can do, and none like that. It's tell me where to go.
Yeah, Nash County, I'm telling you, we're in good shape. We're in good hands. He's got a team of county commissioners in place now that getting him the tools and the resources that he needs to deliver on behalf of his people, who deliver on behalf of the citizens of Nash County. We're just blessed all the way around. Any movement on any other cases? Anything you can talk about?
No movement on any on our unsolved homicides, but if you remember a couple years ago with Jarrett Ford shot William Tony out on I-95.
Yep.
That trial starts back Monday. The first trial ended in a mistrial. So that trial's coming back up and starting Monday, picking juries Monday.
For some reason, I had it in my mind that I knew they had a hung jury, right?
Correct.
For some reason, I was thinking at the last minute they worked out a plea.
He was found guilty in federal court on
Okay.
some charges. We took him federal also, so he was found guilty on some federal charges, but all the state charges for shooting Deputy William Tony and all the stuff with the vehicle stop, that starts Monday. Jury selection starting Monday.
Either way, he's behind bars today.
He is behind bars today. Yeah,
Okay.
he ain't going nowhere for a while.
Okay.
And if he were to get out on the state charges on bond or whatever, he's still going to be held because of the federal charge. The guilty verdict on the federal charges.
Well, good. I find it. It's tough that would end in a hung jury in Nash County.
It would. It surprised me. We've had 2 that since I've been in law enforcement. We've had 3 death penalty cases, and they've hung. And they find them guilty, but on the death sentence phase of the trial, they've always been hung. So the judge always ends up getting them life in prison. But I wouldn't have ever thought that we would have a hung jury to where one of our deputies was shot in Nash County.
Well, now let me throw a curveball at you. And this is something we hadn't discussed, but so like my nephew, he got he took a plea,
Correct.
and I think he got, and I'm just going to throw this out, like 29 years, 8 months. And if that's not it, it's mighty close. Okay, will he pull 29 years, 8 months?
He will pull most of it. He'll pull at least 25.
Okay.
You know, the state gives you credit for certain things you do, good behavior, no complaints, no violations in the state system stuff. So he'll at least do around 25. Now, federal, he'd be doing right at 28.
Day for day,
29
right?
years. Federal's tough.
Okay.
You do at least 90% of your time in federal system.
Let me tell you what's crazy. I actually talked to him for the first time. He called me.
Brandon,
Yeah, he did. He called me, and they said, "Look, you know, you're getting a call from a correctional facility." I said, "You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna take it." And let me tell you what hurts me. This is not the same Brandon that I talked to on the phone that I've seen the past 5 years.
right. Finally getting some help.
This is the Brandon that I knew as a teenager and young adult. So he's clean.
Yep.
And what's sad is to know that the clean, healthy, squared away Brandon is going to prison. You know, yeah. But hey, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not making it. It's just sad that that's what it is.
And I agree with you. I mean, it's sad. I mean, you know, I grew up down in Bailey with y'all, and I knew that family. And it is sad, but unfortunately, in today's society, people just don't get the help they need until they finally are in a bad situation or trouble to where they are forced to get it. He's in prison now, so he's basically forced to get some help.
Yep.
And get clean. But it's sad that we live in a society to where people don't get the help they need until it's too late.
Let me tell you where I found peace at. We talked 10, 15 minutes on the phone. He's like, "Look, check this out." He said, "If I wanted to be on drugs," he said, "there's drugs in here."
Oh, I don't doubt that.
He said some older people where he's at have kind of took him under his wing and got him involved in like a ministry, a church group.
That's good.
And he is where he needs to be with his faith, as far as I'm concerned. He says he's in a good place, and I can tell. I mean, I've known this boy since he was born,
Right.
and he said a lot of things that I took comfort in. That that I'm glad that he is where he is, both from a punishment standpoint. I'm glad he is where he is,
Right.
but from a mental health standpoint, peace of mind standpoint, I'm glad that he is where he is, getting the help that he
I
needs.
agree.
But
That's why it's so important to get them drugs off the street, though.
that's right. Yeah.
Yep. And, well, I mean, it seems like, I mean, y'all been in a bit, you see it, you read about it, but feels like to us sometimes that you take one off and 2 or 3 takes its place. So it's a continuing battle every day.
It is.
And, Sheriff Stone and our NARC guys there on top of it, they're making cases every day. And, but it's a continual battle. It's an everyday battle. It never goes away. It don't take a break.
The guy that was selling Brandon this stuff, again, you hit the nail on the head. We're all from down there. We know who does it.
Oh, yeah.
We know who does it. I was in a restaurant eating alone, and the guy who was selling Brandon this stuff comes in and sits down with me in this restaurant. I mean, sits down. He's like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I kept eating a little bit, and he's like, "So how is he?" And I said, "You know what? The Southern Nash come out in me." I said, "You're a brave soul, coming here and sitting down with me in a public place." And I'll just let you use your imagination as to what I probably told him, okay? And I'm going to leave it at that. But I told him he was probably going to get what's coming to him, But anyway, the sheriff does a good job. I know he's got rules he's got to abide by.
Oh, yeah. Well, one of our favorite sayings is, every day you are out here committing wrong in the county, you have to be lucky every single day. I just got to be lucky once.
That's right. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's going to come around and get them, and like I said, our drug guys on top of it, and they work every day hard and making cases and taking a lot of cases federal. So I mean, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, and you've got a very active narcotics unit
yeah.
that works with the feds a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all do a lot of high-profile local and federal cases.
We do, and that's just the mission of the sheriff. I mean, if you have a person that is just causing havoc in a community, and you can get enough on them to take them federal, take them federal.
And see, a lot of people think, well, it's drugs. I don't have drugs in my family, so I'm blessed. What you don't understand is drug activity affects everything.
Everybody.
Because your house might get broke into
Just for
because of a drug dealer.
Exactly.
Or some drug head that needs a quick $20, $40, $100, so your house gets broken into. It's just a ripple effect in a community. People don't understand it's not just drugs. It's anything. You could be robbed at the ATM machine. You could be carjacked. That's why it's so important to identify these people who are on drugs or selling drugs and get them out of the community. Lock them up.
Every family.
It does.
Every family. Everybody's got some type of involvement or it's been affected some way, to your point.
100%.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad that nobody has ever tried to put that off on my children so that I don't have to wear orange over there at the Nash County Sheriff's Office, because I would. I'm telling
We
you.
let you be a trustee.
Well, I'm telling you, I would. But look, we're going to take a quick break and pay a few bills, and we'll be right back.
What is the Davis Furniture difference? The difference is we buy with you in mind. For generations, we have listened to our customers. We can help you find the look you want for every room in your house. Quality, style, color, and of course service. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Davis Furniture, the family business where we treat you like family. Let us help you make your house a home. Davis Furniture, historical downtown Rocky Mount, on the corner of Hill and Main.
When Anita needed surgery, she struggled to find a doctor who made her feel at ease. Then she met Dr. Stephen Grant.
His bedside manner and the way he treats his patients was fantastic. He was different from everybody else I'd ever seen. He's compassionate. He really cares about his patients. I told him, you were my guardian angel. My experience with Nash was A+. I said, any surgery I need here on out, give me a blank piece of paper, I'll sign it. I want you to do it.
Learn more at nashsurgery.com.
Larger, safer, sleeker, more advanced tech starting at $21,000. And check out our lineup of SUVs this year. Doing it the better way for over 100 years. Don Bullock Chevrolet.
Make any day special by coming into Ribeye Steakhouse in Nashville. Come on in and enjoy our legendary tender and juicy Omaha Angus ribeyes. And try and share our seafood entrees, your choice of shrimp, flounder, or oysters. And especially don't forget our famous salad bar with all your favorite fixins. If you want to give that someone special something to revel in, Ribeye's gift certificates can be made to order. And as you're looking for somewhere to host a business meeting or special event, you can reserve the Angus Room. Ribeye Steakhouse of Nashville, over 10 years of great food.
The tank is on E, and your low tire pressure light is glaring at you again. You do not have time to wait in line and pay to put air in the tires, and you certainly don't want to get out of the car in the cold and pump gas. What if you could pull up to a gas pump and have an attendant run out to greet you to pump your gas, clean your windshield, and put air in the tire, all for no extra charge, while you step inside and enjoy a made-to-order breakfast or lunch? Does that kind of full service exist anymore? It does, at JD's Grocery and Grill, a service station created to bring back the full service experience to all customers. JD's Grocery and Grill is a full service gas station. Eat in restaurant with tasty made-to-order food and a grocery store all in one. The staff at JD's Grocery and Grill is ready to field all requests and will help you find anything you need. Call them today at 252-972-5000 or stop on by at 1240 Atlantic Avenue. Store hours, Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Grill hours, Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. JD's Grill and Grocery, at the heart of great food.
It's our once-a-year incredible warehouse sale, and you can't miss it.
From traditional to modern, we have the best home furnishings at 60 to 90% off retail. Thousands of lamps, decorative accessories, chandeliers, and an incredible selection of designer furniture, all conveniently located off I-95.
You know where to find us. 218 North Church Street, downtown Rocky Mount.
And welcome back. My guest co-host today is Freddie Howell, Nash County Commissioner for District 3. So Freddie, what's the latest and the greatest from the Nash County Commissioners? What's going on?
So everybody's getting ready. They're putting their request in. Actually, I think today's the deadline, or yesterday was, to turn in your legislative request to the office, and we're going to have our legislative dinner next week with our state representatives and share with them our thoughts on our goals for Nash County to help the citizens as they get ready to go back into session, and hopefully be able to bring some more stuff back to Nash County for us and represent us.
You know, like I was saying earlier about following the sheriff's Facebook page, I follow yours, Freddie Howell, Nash County Commissioner, District 3. And I've seen you in a lot of pictures recently. Didn't I see you at the Rocky Mount Chamber of Commerce?
I did. I was fortunate enough. I was a guest of the mayor, Sandy Robertson's there at the Chambers. They had a great event. I think it was the 121st event that they have had, and it was the annual meeting along with a dinner. They had some recognitions for some honorees there at that event, and so they just do a great job there in Rocky Mount with the Chamber. A lot of activity from the businesses. They promote their business. There's a lot of growth coming. It's already happened, and I think there's a lot more on the way. I think there's a lot, especially on the Nash County side, there's a lot of growth coming to Rocky Mount.
All over
it benefits Nash County and also benefits the city of Rocky Mount. So I'm glad to see us growing that partnership between Rocky Mount, and I look forward to that continuing to thrive and grow as both Nash County and the city grows.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing I saw was it looked like it was at the Ag Center.
So there was. So last week, I believe it was. Yes, last week they had at the community college. We had an agricultural forum and had some good information there. In discussing, of course, what's dear to my heart and a lot of the citizens in Nash County, especially the southern end of the county, is we've got all the growth coming in, and that's part of it. You know, growth is coming, but it needs to be controlled, as we've talked about.
Be smart about it.
During my campaign, and one thing that Nash County is currently lacking is we do not have a farm preservation program, and I'm very passionate about that, and think that if we're going to have the growth, do we need to do something to preserve some of the farmland? Because
Totally
North Carolina is number 2 in the nation at the most farmland lost.
Being lost.
Texas
Any
is
numbers
number
on
1.
that?
I can tell you that we're on the track right now to lose 30,000 acres in the next 6 years. And just to put that in perspective for our viewers out there, currently right now in Nash County, in any given year, I think last year example, the soybean crop in Nash County was 30,000 acres. So you're talking about doing away with enough farmland to do your entire soybean crop for Nash County.
That is just wild.
So that's huge. So some of the other counties around do have a farmland preservation, and there's been several commissioners that's been involved and been in some presentations. And actually I've got an agricultural advisory board meeting next week, and I hope that's going to be a topic on there by Mr. Covington, our chairman. And I'd love to see that go ahead and get that initiative started and get it going. There's programs through the government that we can participate in to help preserve farmland. Mm-hmm. And basically, long and short, it's the opportunity for the landowner to sell their development rights. In other words, they can still farm it, and it's just agriculture just like it is today, and you can still have a barn or a building on the property that works with the agricultural division that you're trying to do, but it doesn't allow you to develop that property into housing development.
And so that was going to be my question. So like let's just say I've got a 40-acre farm, and I wanted to participate in something like this. I didn't know how it worked. I was just under the impression like maybe I give it to the county or it went into a trust or, so what you're saying is my children, if they farmed, or grandchildren, if they farmed, they could actually continue to farm this land. It's just I transferred or give away the right of ever developing it.
It is, and so we don't have a lot around here, but especially in other states, it's done a lot. But you can give away like you can sell your mineral rights to your property. So the rights to the minerals in that property, you can sell that to other companies. And what this does is you sell your rights to develop it, to take it out of agriculture and develop it. So those programs are out there, and it doesn't fit everybody.
Right.
In the program, there is compensation in these programs to pay the landowner, and the design of the program is for them to put this basically here permanently. So it's always going to be agriculture, but yet it compensates the landowner. So, because when somebody walks up to you and you are not farming anymore, and they're offering you $20,000-$30,000 an acre, it's hard to turn that down if you're not utilizing that. So by giving the ability to be able to have some compensation for the property, to keep it and keep it in agriculture, and that's what this program is designed for.
And I'm not anti-growth as much as I am, perception. When I'm riding down the road and I see 10 houses that are cookie cutter, that's 1,200 square foot, they all look the same, they all have the same vinyl siding. Okay, there's no curb, there's no gutter, they're literally built on top of each other. I don't like that. Now, when I see a subdivision going in, it's curbed, it's guttered, they're brick homes, again, it's perception. They look nice. Okay, I know 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, it's going to be just as nice probably as it is today. I don't really have as much of a problem with something like that as I do these other things. And I know everybody needs affordable housing. I get that. I understand it. But I think we need to be really, really, really smart about developing. I don't like seeing random, this is just me, it's random sporadic rural growth. I'm one of these people that I would prefer to see growth in or around a town, a municipality, and kind of encourage them to flourish, to grow. And again, especially down our way, so that farmers can continue to farm, welcome development, and kind of keep it contained. But I know a lot of the towns down our way, they have problems with water and sewer and
That's our
all
challenge
that kind of stuff. So
in the
what,
southern end.
any developments on that or anything that you can talk about on that?
So, we've got a new chair now. Mr. Wayne Outlaw
Yeah.
is our new chair.
No Wayne.
And Sue Leggett is our vice chair. And what they wanted to do is do something a little different than what we've done in the past. So what they've done is we've pulled in the mayors in the county, and we've met in small group meetings. So example, like District 3, we have Spring Hope, Bailey, and Middlesex. So we brought those mayors in with myself and Sue and Wayne, and we sat down and talked about, what's some of the challenges they're facing. And again, just like we talked about with the sheriff and neighboring counties with the other law enforcement, we're trying to do the same thing with the municipalities within the county, because we should be working together.
Relationships is what it's all about, yeah.
And so we met, and that's some of the things we talked about, and we're actually going to meet again, but the ETJ is one of the things. It's been stagnant. So some of the city limits have grown, but the ETJs have not grown. And so we shared with them that the county's willing to extend those ETJs as long as you can provide the services within a certain time frame, to the citizens. So that, to your point, will give the cities a chance to grow. The problem we've got in the southern end of the county is there is no sewer system. Spring Hope has their own system, but they're experiencing rapid growth as well. Middlesex is getting their sewer system from the town of Zebulon, which comes from the town of Raleigh. And then, of course, Bailey has their own system, but they've been on a moratorium for 22 years. They've got a lot of grant money, but the problem is the infrastructure in the town is so old, they're having to spend the majority of that money bringing that system up to date on the water and the sewer side. So they're going to get that fixed, and they're going to get off the moratorium, but it's going to probably take 2.5 more years to get that accomplished. And what we're dealt with is we need to be able to allow these cities to grow. And so we're going to need a sewer system in the southern end of the county that will allow these cities to grow. To your point, we need multifamily housing units in the city because it's more affordable and it doesn't create a food desert for our citizens. In other words, they need to be able to go to the grocery store, they need to be able to go to the pharmacy. And when you develop it out there in the rural part of the county, they're on an island. There's no service. So they need to be in those cities, and that's what we really got to focus on to get that growth, because it's coming just from spillover from Wake County.
It sure is.
So, I mean, you're not going to stop that, but it's how we control it is what the impact's going to be to the citizens in Nash County. And I think that, to your point, we just need to be smart about it, and that's one of the things that, as an ask from our state legislators, to support us and help us with that. And I know this season's tight as far as the session. We're just trying to support the western part of North Carolina, with all the devastation that they've had, and obviously here are some of the tornadoes that come through in Rocky Mount. So we know that's going on, but we just want to, put out there what our request is, so that as soon as we can help get support from that and look at other avenues to get some funding in, because it's a huge investment to get a system in like that. I mean, you're talking $75 to $100 million to build a facility like that to support the growth.
Well, last night I was watching WREL. This would have been about 10 or 11 o'clock. And again this morning, they are looking to sell the Mudcat Stadium when they ultimately move to Wilson. A developer is interested in it, and they are looking at modeling that property behind what's at Flowers. Okay, a huge grocery store chain, other outlets, other things in that shopping center. I could see that happening. And again, that's just going to encourage or push even more growth in the southern end of the county, especially in the Middlesex area. And already, the builders that are building in the Middlesex area especially, before they can finish a house, is sold.
And here's the interesting statistic, and this came from an economic forum that I attended at the Chamber of Commerce in Rocky Mount from a professor at NC AT&T here right before Christmas. But you look around and you think everybody's moving in from out of state, from Florida and up north they're coming down, and some of them are. But only around 24% of the people are coming in from out of state. What you're running into is a lot of people are coming in from other parts of North Carolina because they're getting forced out of Charlotte and Raleigh and Durham, these areas where the prices just
They
skyrocket.
can't afford to live there.
They can't afford to live. So they're coming out to have more affordable housing. And then if you look at some of the houses, the house prices now, the starting prices are what used to be a luxury house a few years ago just because of inflation. So we're in a transition, and we've got to get our income has got to come up to support the inflation that's there to get that balance. And
you can probably get a whole lot more house for your money in Middlesex than what you can 5 miles up the road in Zebulon.
Absolutely.
You get more bang for your buck. That's just like some of these townhouses, man, in Raleigh. I had no idea they were $1 million townhouses. And that's crazy.
yeah.
So I'm sure it does affect the local real estate market there in Raleigh, and it does force people out. And just like your lower income people who are on fixed income or disabled, it puts a strain on them and their resources as well. They have nowhere to go. You look at going in on New Bern Avenue now. Used to, there was a lot of what I call meal housing for lower income. It's all gone. They're building condos just past Wake Med going into Raleigh now that are huge properties, big houses, all in the Oakwood community, big houses. And it's like it's just, forcing people out.
Everybody's got to have a place to live. And as the population continues to grow, that's some of the challenges we're going to be faced with. And the thing is, you can't just have the housing. You've got to have the businesses supported as well.
Yeah.
So, with houses, you're going to need the grocery stores, you're going to need the pharmacies, you're going to need the restaurants. It's got to be a balance. So,
Well,
that's the
look,
challenge we're faced with.
we're going to take a real quick break, pay a few bills. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back.
I'm Daniel Moss, owner of Cornerstone Funeral Home, and I'd like to invite you and your family to give our family an opportunity to serve you in your time of need. And we offer a full line of funeral services, everything from visitations to graveside services to cremations on site with a live crematory, as well as a banquet hall to meet the catering needs of our families that we serve. We offer catering service. We offer refreshments prior to visitations and services of our family. And we want to invite you to come and experience the difference here at Cornerstone Funeral Home.
Have an Italian night out at Sal's Pizza, an authentic place to eat gourmet Italian cuisine. Our mouth-watering pizza is fresh from the oven. And don't forget our Grandma Pizza. Delicious Italian dishes made fresh with savory sauces, lasagna, calzones, chicken Alfredo, and much more. And for you salad lovers, we have a variety of salads with the freshest ingredients. Bring the whole family to Sal's for the finest, most delicious Italian dishes you can eat. Sal's Pizza and Restaurant. Dine in, take out, or delivery.
We're in our 18th year of practice at the Hammer Chiropractic Center, and we've seen over 15,000 different people in the Rocky Mount area. 40% of headaches actually come from a neck problem. Many patients come in taking multiple aspirin, over-the-counter medications and such a day, and we can get you to stop doing that and actually fix the problem so the headaches don't arise anymore. A lot of people think chiropractic hurts. It does not. Most of the people come in and they feel great when they leave.
Is your garage door giving you trouble? Don't let a malfunction slow you down. Introducing our garage door maintenance package. Our expert team ensures your door operates smoothly and safely. With a comprehensive inspection, lubrication, and tune-up, we catch problems before they become costly repairs. Enjoy a peace of mind and a fully functioning garage door year-round. Don't wait. Keep your garage door in tip-top shape with Elite Overhead Garage Doors Maintenance Package.
I've had occasion to use Elite overhead doors before, and they've done me a great job. Very responsive to your needs.
If you're shopping for furniture, stop into Aquila Furniture at 1540 North Wesleyan Boulevard in Rocky Mount. They have a powered reclining sofa and love seat with speakers, charging station, and reading lights for only $24.99. Two-sided queen mattress sets starting at $750. Bedroom suites, price drop to $899. Queen sleigh bedroom suite for $4,000 and king sleigh bed suite for $4,500. Aquila Furniture has appliances, Lazy Susan dinettes, sofa and love seat combinations, anything that you need to fully furnish your home. Financing is available. Come on in today. Don't let a deal on quality furniture pass you by.
Hey, Mambo Italiano.
We're ready. We're rolling. I mean, we got the new Italianos. Look at the new shoes. The new Italianos is exclusive to PJ, so come and get them before they're all gone. And like you all know, I don't follow the trend. I create the trend. I'm PJ the trendsetter.
Mambo Italiano, try an angelada with the fishy bacala and then hey, Goomba. I love how you dance the rumba.
Come on in to Ribeyes of Tarboro, where we have something for everyone. We have the freshest salad bar around, mouth-watering hand-cut Omaha steaks, and our famous savory oyster bar, open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Having a party or need to accommodate a large group? Book our Angus Room. Ribeyes Steakhouse of Tarboro, where we have the friendliest staff to serve you 7 days a week.
And we're back, and our guest co-host today is Freddie Howell, Nash County Commissioner for District 3. Freddie, before I forget, thank you for coming on and
yes, sir.
being a guest
co-host.
co-host.
Appreciate the invite.
Sharing what you know, and we greatly appreciate it. One of the things that we had talked about the last time you were on was Lisa Barnes, Alan Chesser had played an instrumental role in helping Nash County secure, I think, about $40 million in a new school for Southern Nash. I think it was going to be a Southern Nash Middle School.
Yes, sir.
Where do things stand on that?
So, I actually talked to the chairman of the board this week, Mr. Lamb, and they had their meeting and they voted on and confirmed a site for the location of the new school. So that has been decided.
Okay.
And it is in the southern part of the county. It's over there around 581 somewhere. I don't know the exact location. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
But, and I hadn't met with him in person to view the map. But
Right.
I do know the selection has been made, and it was approved by the board
Okay.
in this past meeting. So now it's back over to the county to be able to do all the legwork and take possession of the property so they can go ahead and start building, because we're under a time frame. That money's got to be spent, I think, by 28 or 29.
What do you think the turnaround time will be on this school? I mean, a year or two? How long does it do you know? I mean, I'm just.
I know
I'm just asking.
they're chomping at the bit. They were waiting on the school to get the new elected board members on. And then, of course, they had to do selection of the chair and vice chair. So all that's been done. So this past meeting was the first meeting with everybody in a new position and everybody there. So they took the vote and voted on it and passed it. So now, I call it the paperwork stage. The permitting and paperwork stage will be done. And I would say that we should see some movement on this very quickly.
Good.
And of course, it's got to go through the state.
Now, does the county commission play a role in it? Do y'all vote? Do you have a voice? Do you say yay, nay?
I think we're just handling the acquisition of the land for them.
Gotcha.
They've chosen the land, and since we've got the purse, the money came back to the county earmarked for the school system for this school. So, and then of course the county had to put a match in as well. So
Okay.
I think the grant from Lisa and Alan was $40 million, and the county has put in, I think, $8 million. So,
You know, we were bragging on the sheriff earlier. We've got to start and brag on Lisa Barnes and Alan Chester. They have delivered for Nash County like no two elected people I've ever seen in the legislature.
and it couldn't come at a better time. I mean, think about this, $40 million just for this school. If we had to pass this on to the taxpayers, that would be a huge burden.
Yeah.
And the growth is here. And one thing a lot of people don't realize is there's a state law. You can't pass the burden of, because you're building new houses, onto a developer. So there's a law to prevent you from putting any kind of charge onto a developer for building a new school. So you have to build the houses first, then the schools have to catch up. That's the way it works. And so if we hadn't have got this grant, we still would have needed the schools. And of course, we're getting not only a middle school out of this, but they're going to turn the existing middle school into an elementary school. So we desperately need this. And as the growth keeps coming, we're going to need more schools. So to your point, I mean, they just do an outstanding job, and I'm proud to know both of them. And matter of fact, they were at the Rocky Mountain Chamber dinner. They were at our table, and I actually had Lisa on one side and Alan on the other. And so I've been at the air a little bit that night and talked to them about the sewer system we were just talking about. But trying to get a little love there for Southern Nash.
Well, you know, one thing about it, we've got a hometown team in place that consistently delivers for the people of Nash County.
And it takes everybody working together.
does.
You can get so much more accomplished that way.
Yeah. Look, have you ever been, I don't know if I've ever asked you this or not, but have you ever been to the oyster roast that Highway Patrol does over here at Rocky Mountain Mills?
I have.
Folks, I've got some tickets. I need to sell them. Please, this is going to be for this year's North Carolina Troopers Association, the Highway Patrol Caisson Unit fundraiser. They're $50 a ticket. It's going to be February 22nd, 2025, 5 to 9, over at Rocky Mountain Mills. All you can eat, oysters, shrimp, fish, barbecue, fixings. The goal here is to raise enough money to support the maintenance of the Caisson unit for an entire year, and it takes a lot of revenue to support that unit. Hay, vet bills, feed, transportation-related costs, maintenance of trucks, trailers. It's a lot of money. It's not funded through the state. They are a non-profit, and the Caisson unit is used anytime a law enforcement officer in North Carolina dies in the line of duty, or a government dignitary, a government official. And for those of you that may not know what a Caisson unit is, it's the horse-drawn carriage that is used, kind of like what John F. Kennedy was drawn in, and Ronald Reagan. It's a sight to behold. These troopers, they went to Arlington National Cemetery. They do their training there. The caisson itself was built, I believe, in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, by the Amish. And it takes a lot of money. So if you could support this, give me a call, 919-369-0311. 919-369-0311. I will deliver you a ticket or tickets. This is Brian James's baby here. Brian James does a lot for the Highway Patrol. He's a big supporter. He's a Rocky Mount area businessman, and he kind of took this on several years ago, and he has done an outstanding job with it.
It's a fabulous event. They put on a great event. A lot of food. I mean, like I said, it's all you want to eat, and it's laid out. Good parking over there. There's usually a lot of networking going on there as well with other people in the community. And like I said, it's all for a good cause. So please come out and support that if you can.
And you know, I've been before, and they have a silent auction, and they have things laying around that you can kind of bid on. And I've been before, and they have live entertainment. But like you say, I mean, it's a great event. Come out and support us. Anything else you want to add before we kind of wrap it up?
Just it's budget season, so I know it sounds crazy, but the end of the year's coming for the county. So we're working now with the department heads trying to figure out what the needs are for Nash County for next year, and go ahead and try to get that all put together and put in there. So we'll be behind the scenes working on that to keep moving the ball forward to try to stay ahead of this growth.
Any developments on, I know when you were running, coverage for EMS was a red hot topic. Any movement, improvement, anything on that?
Well, I get a report that now that I'm a commissioner, and I can proudly say that since January the 1st, a big concern of mine was the Mount Pleasant EMS station, and it has not been shut down that I can tell on any reports since January the 1st of this year.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, and there was only a few times in December, so it's, and it was 60% of the time, so we're moving.
So there
in the
is
right
movement.
direction. Absolutely.
And it's movement in the right way.
Absolutely. One thing we do have to address, and I made the other commissioners aware of this, and they were not aware of this, but they had voted and approved new ambulances in the past, but we've got ambulances that are basically been approved by the Board of Commissioners from 3 years ago that have yet to be delivered. And it's the same thing with fire trucks. A lot of people realize it takes 2 years on average to get a fire truck once it's approved to have it built.
Wow, I didn't know that.
But a lot of the commissioners, myself included, was not aware that it was taking 3 years to get our ambulances. So something we've got to look into and see if we can either speed that process up for them, or either change the way we approve those so that we know that we've got enough coming in the cycle to keep them with the proper equipment they need to do their jobs daily.
Well, thank you for what you do for the citizens of Nash County. Thank you for coming on. It's good to see you.
Appreciate the invite.
Thank you for tuning in, watching, and we'll see you next week.